Hello, Math B Honors students. We have our last lesson of the module with examining real-world contexts without solutions, our 1.2e lesson. It's going to be a really quick video today. We're just going to do a couple problems. And just remember that not all word problems will have a solution. Okay, so does every real-world context have a real number solution? When might a word problem involving coins have no solution? When might a word problem involving perimeter have no solution? Okay, so it's actually not the most obvious. It doesn't happen all the time, but when certain descriptions of perimeter or coins happen, sometimes certain descriptions of age, coins, or even perimeter do not match real life possibilities, right? For example, half a coin, or attendees for a movie theater and you get a decimal, right? Fractional amount of people, etc. Again, doesn't happen that often, but when it does, you pretty much have a right to say that there is no solution to this. Okay. So let's go ahead and read number 1 and let's see if it's possible. So it says the width and the length of a rectangle are consecutive multiples of 5. Interesting. If the perimeter of the rectangle is 125 meters, what is the length and the width of the rectangle? Okay, so we don't know either the width or the length, but we do know that they are consecutive multiples of 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just call the width the x, and let's just make the length larger. And we can make it shorter too, but typically I like adding instead of subtracting. So let's just call the length x plus 5. Remember, class, that's what a multiple of 5 means. That means if the width is 10, the length would have to be 15. If the width is 25, the length would have to be 30. It has to be 5 away from the previous, because that's what consecutive multiples of 5 are, right? Consecutive meaning right next to each other. ... Okay, so I just created an arbitrary variable for width, and then I just said the length is x plus 5. So we've been doing perimeter for a while now. You should know that, remember, perimeter is just the sum of these two, width and length, times 2. So if I add these two, I get 2x plus 5, and then I can set that equal to 125, right? 2 times the sum of the width and the length. But this actually should already make you wonder about something, right? Again, I hope you're realizing we don't have to distribute. I could divide away the 2, and I end up getting 2x plus 5, which was inside the group, is equal to 125 divided by 2. And that's going to be, that's already a fraction, right? That already doesn't sound exactly right. That is going to be 62.5. Speed this up a little bit. You get 2x is equal to 57.5. And if you divide both sides by 2, you end up getting x is equal to 28.75. So you can see, class, that this is an example of something that we solved correctly, and yet the context is not matching the answer, right? You would say, since the width is 28.75, there is no solution for this context, I guess. No solution for this context, right? Something is wrong with the word problem as opposed to our answer. We solved it correctly, but something is wrong with the word problem. Might have to change it up. No, it's not one of those poorly written questions by Mr. Quo. This is purposely no solution. Okay. Doesn't happen that often. I don't think you should seek those situations, but I guess when they do come up, just realize that it's possible it's no solution. Okay, let's try number 2. In a triangle, the first angle is 10 degrees more than, right, here we go again, then the second angle. The third angle is 2 more than twice the measure of the second angle. I feel like we've been doing these a lot. Let's try that one more time. So we know that we're comparing the first angle to the second angle. Immediately, I can write x equals second angle. The first angle is 10 degrees more. So this is going to be the first angle. The third angle is 2 more than twice. 2 more than twice the measure of the second angle. That's the third angle. And by the way, a triangle, if you want a nice Mr. Quo visual, remember this is an equilateral triangle, but we do know that the interior angles of a triangle have to add up to 180. So I can just add these 3. Really do this in my head at this point. 3x plus, I just messed up. 3x is this, but you don't forget the other x, right? Plus 12. So I'm going to write that as 4x plus 12 is equal to 180. And you just do these 2-step equations. At this point, you should feel very comfortable here. I can't wait to see all your results from our module test coming up. But I'm getting x is equal to 42. And that tells me that 42 is going to be the second angle. You kind of have to work your way, plug it in. 42 plus 10 is 52. And then 42 one more time times 2 is 84. And then 84 plus 2 is 86. So you should say all 3 angles add up to 180 and are 52, 42 degrees, and 86 degrees respectively. Okay, so again, just another example of a word problem, but in this case we did solve it. The answer was not no solution. We did solve it. And I hope you're really, really comfortable with this type of question at this point. Okay, let's do one more. Let's see if there's one good one we can do. I want to skip all the way to number 4. I think number 4 is a good question. Okay, so it says a total of $458 was collected for admission from 132 people who attended a show. Okay, so let's circle this. We know that there's 132 total people. Adults paid $4. Children paid $250. How many children attended the show? Okay, always want to utilize every piece of information that's given. Okay, so first, we know that there are adults and there are children, just like any movie theater. So I don't know how many children attended. That's what they're asking. So I'm going to write x is equal to the number of children that attended, right? And this is a concept we saw in this module, right? If I say that x is equal to the number of children, what do you think adults have to be? If you remember this rule, adults would have to be 132 minus x. right? So we don't know how much of each, but we do know there were 132 total people. Okay, so now, just like a coin problem, I'm going to put the value, the price that they paid, in front of their variable, their definition, and then I'm going to set it equal to the 458. So adults paid $4 and children paid $250. So I know that 250 times X, number of children, plus $4 times 132 minus X, this is going to equal the total that was collected. Okay, so I'm running a little bit out of space. So let's see if I can use a piece of paper. So go ahead and distribute. You know what to do at this point. Now, you could also write this as a fraction if you want. Let's go ahead and do that, actually. I'm going to write that as a fraction. 250 is 5 over 2x plus 4 times 132. Ooh, that's a big number. That's 400. 130 times 4 is already 520, so that's 528. And then minus 4x. This is equal to 458. So this is kind of interesting. I'm going to go ahead and make my life a little bit easier. Subtract this. You can tell that these numbers are not the best. It's not the easiest number to calculate. 5 halves x minus 4x is equal to 458 minus 528. I want to say that's negative 70, right? I believe that's correct. And now I'm going to do a little bit of clearing the denominator here. I'm going to multiply everything by 2, and I get 5x minus 8x is equal to negative 140. And I'm already starting to question if this is a valid statement, right? Negative 3x is equal to negative 140, and that already gives me a bad feeling because this number should be divisible by 3, right? They're both negative, which is good. I feel good about that. But the fact that 140 is not divisible by 3 means that I'm going to get a rounded number. 140 divided by 3 is that 46.6 repeated. I'm trying to do a lot of mental math. Honestly, definitely should use a calculator just to double check. Yeah, it is 46.6 repeated. And that kind of tells me, class, this is no solution. Again, right? You cannot have a fractional amount of people. You cannot have a fractional amount of people. Now, the only way that this is possible, obviously, is through estimation, right? If we estimated the amount of people that came to attend the show and we estimated the amount of money we collected, then of course you can have an estimated fractional amount. But if this was actual, we collected $458 only, then the answer would be not possible. Something is wrong. Maybe someone didn't calculate the money correctly. Okay, hope you enjoyed this video. Very, very quick video. See you all in class.